if you haven't already seen my Audiobooks reading vlog and wrap up, a lot of the books I'm going to talk about today are featured in that. So definitely pause this, go watch that, linked up above, and then come back. Welcome to my May wrap up. Welcome back, or if you are new here, welcome. My name is Katrina and I make bookish content here on this channel every week and then movie reviews here at the weekend. In the description box below you will find all of my social links, including my blog and my Goodreads, where apparently I have a notification. I do have reviews of some of the books I'm going to talk about, but I definitely have a review of a couple of these coming up because I'm blog tours for a couple of these. So let us dive right in. We're going to talk ebooks, then physical books, then audiobooks. So first of all, ebook wise, we had None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell, which was just absolutely fantastic. Her lies could kill you. Oh my goodness. Always just so in awe of Lisa Jewell. But I did read this entirely on the first Monday of Battle Books, where I talk about it quite a bit more. So you're going to want to, or if you haven't already, watch that video, because I talk about this. Another thriller from Lisa Jewell, absolutely amazing. This one is out in July and will be linked in the description box below. And then I also read on ebook, in preparation for the movie, Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret by Judy Blume. This was a reread for me. This is the movie tie-in cover, which I really quite like. And I do have a physical copy of this somewhere, but it has not yet been unpacked. Yes, even though the shelves behind me are fairly full, I still have not yet unpacked all my books. So if you haven't seen my book versus movie for this one, I will leave that linked up above as well, because I go into the ins and outs of the similarities and differences there. Then another one I read on ebook, but I do have a physical copy of here with you, so we'll sort of use that as the segue into the physical book section of the video, is stuck is Maybe Tomorrow by Penny Parks. And when I talked about books that I am on the blog tour for, I am on the blog tour for this one. I think it's the 22nd of June. My review of this one will be up. You can see it is quite a chunky read. This one is a story of friendship and hope that maybe tomorrow will be brighter than today. What just kind of amazed me about this one was the fact that Penny Parks is basically writing about something that nobody else has written about before. She's writing about somebody who was just on that line of being able to cope financially and being able to provide for herself and her son, and not being able to cope. Like, this line of people that just doesn't get, it gets talked about quite a lot in the news. And within the teaching community, this is talked about quite a bit, because there are quite a few teachers that fall into this category. But it just doesn't get written about. So you either have people who've like lost everything or have everything. And this is this person, Jamie, who's living this fine line between like having enough and just not having enough. So it was the, like, I read this and I was like, no one has written about this before. This needs to be written about more. This is so relatable to so many people. And it's just, you know, one thing going wrong could just mean everything falling apart for her. Like, she's so living life literally day to day. And I just really loved reading about her friends, and reading about her and her relationship with her son. However, I really struggled with the way her son's school handled how unique her son is, and how they handled his situation. And it made me really, really upset. And I worry that, like, Penny Parks has been in this situation with a school, or she knows someone that's been in this situation with a school, and it made me really sad. And it kind of, anytime the scenes with the school came up, I kind of almost like didn't skip over them, but didn't read them into too much detail, because it made me really angry and really upset, and brought me to tears, because I was just like, I really hope that Penny Parks has not come across a school that has handled a child who is so vulnerable in this way. Yes. So I have a lot to say about this. My review on that blog tour is going to be interesting, so make sure you click on the link to my blog, because yeah, maybe I'll make a whole video talking about this, because it is a chunky read. It is where are we? 513 pages, but a valuable read. Absolutely fantastic. And then the first book that I read on literally the first day of the month was Finding Perfect by Colleen Hoover, delving into my Colleen Hoover, jumping on that bandwagon. But I was sent this, which is what prompted me to read the entire Hopeless series, because this is the last book in the Hopeless series, and it was lovely. It was so nice, so good. I sat down, it's a teeny tiny book. I sat down and read it all in one sitting. Where are we up to? Oh, it has a sample chapter of all your perfects as well. 83, only 83 pages, but it was just such a cute end to the series, and I really enjoyed wrapping up the series. I feel like if you read Losing Hope, is that the first one, or is it Hopeless that's the first one? I have a guide right at the front here. Hopeless is the first one. If you read Hopeless, it would have been easy for me to give up partway through Hopeless, because I was like, oh, it's just another teen romance, should but shouldn't, and then something happened, there was a twist, and I was so drawn in, and then I had to read Losing Hope, and then I had to read Finding Cinderella, and then I had to read Finding Perfect. And so it's one of those that you have to persevere with it, but if you put in the time, the rewards will come to you. And so that's kind of, what's led me on to a bit of a Colleen Hoover, not binge, but I'm like, let's see what all the hype's about. So I also read on audiobook, if I can find it, because it's definitely here somewhere, with the lovely Hayley, we listened to The True Love Experiment by Christina Lauren, and we absolutely love this. This is sort of jumping on another sort of bit of a trend as well of reality TV shows featuring in books, which I absolutely love, because I am a reader who also loves reality TV. And so this was great to read, and it follows on from the this is The True Love Experiment. What's the other one called? Last year's one, Soulmate Equation. That's it. Follows on from that. So we've got characters from that, and it was just such a fun romance and so easy to listen to. Both of us absolutely binged through it. The sex in it was fun. The characters were strong-willed, and what was interesting for me was seeing the female character. Because it's a dual narrative, we get to see her from her own point of view and from our male lead's point of view, and they were really quite different, and I found that so interesting and so clever of them to write it this way. And so we really enjoyed that. We did 2 buddy reads this month, and the other one we didn't enjoy quite so much, so we also read Between Us by Valerie McFarlane, and we have both read Valerie McFarlane novels before. I was excited to read this one because I've missed her last couple, and so I was sort of excited to have this on my TBR. But neither of us found it particularly memorable. It was quite difficult to get through, and sitting here now, having read it just under a month ago, some things happened. Some secrets are meant to be between us. There was obviously a secret involved, but just nothing was that grabbing and memorable. So not a recommendation from me. And then linking to my About a Books readathon, I listened to, which should be here somewhere and just isn't. Basically, I listened to The Life-Changing Magic of Not Giving a Fuck and The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. I listened to the first one because I thought it was the second one, and it's a series on Netflix, and I thought, let's compare the book and the series. And then I was like, I've listened to the wrong book, which you'll have seen in my Battle of Books vlog. But I actually preferred The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck to The Life-Changing Magic of Not Giving a Fuck. I found the other one really kind of boring and difficult to finish, whereas the first one was definitely quite engaging. And so I'm quite pleased that I actually did them the wrong way around and ended up listening to The Life-Changing Magic of Not Giving a Fuck, because I definitely preferred one over the other. So that was my non-fiction for the month, which I'm quite pleased about. I haven't got any non-fiction planned for June, and so I need to do that. I feel like I've got a couple of non-fiction pride reads, and I think I might need to kind of consciously make an effort to read those. I do have, as I'm filming this, I do have a fairly long drive coming up tomorrow, so maybe we'll jump on that one. But as last month, I'm going to tell you a couple of ones that I am in the middle of, which if you have seen my June TBR, you will know about. If not, I'll leave it linked in the end screen. I am in the middle of linking on to the F-word theme of that readathon, More Confessions of a 40-something Fuck Up. I'm very excited to be reading this because I've just watched the series Not Dead Yet. I binge watched it with my mum on Disney Plus and or on Hulu in the States. More Confessions of a 40-something Fuck Up follows on from Confessions of a 40-something Fuck Up, which is what Not Dead Yet on Disney Plus / Hulu is based on. So I'm like, oh, I've spent all this time with Nell. This is great. I love it. And make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on my book versus movie for Confessions of a 40-something Fuck Up, because I have some thoughts, which is, but spoiler alert, loved the series and loved the book. So, it's going to be a difficult one. And then I am also in the middle of linking back to something I said earlier in the video, all about these links today. It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. As of filming this, I think I have just under 2 hours left of the audiobook, but I may pause that to jump on a Pride non-fiction listen because I realise I haven't got any non-fiction in June. So yes, It Ends With Us. I know people who are not readers who have absolutely binged this. I know people who are readers who have absolutely binged this. I have not binged this. I read some of it in May and I'm still not finished it as of filming this wrap up into June. And telling you I'm going to kind of pause it to listen to something else. So you are not going to want to miss out on my June wrap up. So as I said, make sure you are subscribed and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on that. And my Confessions of a 40-something Fuck Up / Not Dead Yet book versus TV series video. I also have some movie reviews coming your way very soon. And I am going to be making my mid-year, what I've read in the first half of the year wrap up once we hit the actual midpoint of the year. Are we at the midpoint of the year, 1st of June? Or is it the 21st of June? Who knows? But yes, basically I'm going to review what I read in the first 6 months of the year with you. Well, 5.5 months of the year. And then, so you're not going to want to miss out on those. If you enjoyed this video, do give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the box what your favourite, in the comments, what your favourite read in the month of May was, / what you are going to be reading in June. Do you have any Pride reading coming up in the month of June? Do let me know. I will be back with another video for you very soon, so I will see you then. Thanks for watching.